Right, here we go, final preface. I wanted to start F123 when I had completed everything that I needed to for F122, and that means putting everything onto YouTube, etc. This is 11 o'clock before tomorrow morning, which is Saturday tomorrow morning. I do not want to miss another day. So I'm doing this at 11 o'clock for your benefit, so I'm going to be really tired tomorrow. Good thing I'm not really going to be doing much. Anyway, let's actually get into the time trial. First off, we have Spain. Started off with a 18.3, top 20%. 5 laps. Was not able to improve, except for 1 lap, which we invalidated. Absolutely wonderful. So we stayed in top 20%, and as you can see, our session theoretical best was an 18.5, but we invalidated a lap, so yeah, we also lost more time than we could have. I also noted that my mic isn't that good at picking up sound. Gets a lot of background sound and not a lot of me. So I'm kind of just holding it near my mouth. Not so it's too loud, but so it's loud enough that I don't really have to change the audio much. And that's a nice 1 minute filler as we head over to Monaco. Started in the top 14%, I don't know how. A lot of people hate Monaco as well as me. So a really poor lap time. Still puts us quite high. A 112.0. We were able to match a 112.0, however the hundredths and thousandths just a little bit slower. And so we stayed. Overall resulting in an okay session actually. No invalidated laps, pretty close lap times, and a session theoretical best of 4 tenths quicker. Just not bad, to be honest. If we then go over to Azerbaijan, I'm not going to stick to a minute for all of these. If we head over to Azerbaijan, we started off with 141.3 at top 19%. Was not able to get close, however we did have good consistency across 3 laps, all within 2 tenths of the previous one. It did mean that we stayed in position, however the sector times were very varied, so especially sector 2, so it meant that our session theoretical best was a 41.3. That definitely would have got close, but not enough to improve. Heading over to Canada now. Top 16% with a 111.5. Got close on 2 attempts, invalidated 1, and wasn't close on a further 2 attempts. Unfortunately, the 2 close attempts were not enough to get an improvement, only within the 1/10 of it, and so it meant that the session theoretical best was 2 tenths quicker, would have put us with a 111.333, 111, 333, and that would have been good enough to get a new record, which would have been nice, putting us higher up on the leaderboard. Heading over to my home GP then, Great Britain, 128.3 to start out with, put us in top 15%. We got close, kinda, with 28.5, then 2 laps close to 28.8, and then an invalidated 29.4. Obviously, maintaining our position in the leaderboard, and session theoretical best was not much of an improvement, only a 100th improvement in sector 3. That would not have changed our position. So there are some circuits that we do need to spend more time on if we want to practice and get better, purely because we are quite good at these circuits anyway. I'm not saying I'm the best at these circuits, clearly not, but we're not bad. We're in the top 20% for most of these circuits. However, we will reach Hungary in some time. First up, we got, technically 11th up, we got Austria. 15.5 put us in the top 13%. Had a 15.6, 0.7 and 0.9, none of them enough to improve our lap time, so we stayed in the top 13%. And we got a session theoretical best of a 15.5, which would have increased us, put us higher by a couple of hundredths. Now that's not much of an improvement. However, as we found out in Imola last time out, that a 10th is a few percent. That is a massive jump in the percentage difference. And if you look at the leaderboard, there are a lot of people with the exact same time. So if you improved just a tiny bit, you were going quite high. Even that would have been a 52 millisecond improvement. That'd get quite high. France, 131.5 person, top 18%. Only able to get one valid lap. The other two were invalid, and it wouldn't have been enough anyway. So we stay, of course, and no proper session theoretical best. On to Hungary then. I think at the moment, one of, if not the only circuit with a leaderboard ranking in the bottom 3/4 of the leaderboard, with a 117.6 putting us in the top 31%. And we were able to beat that time by 3 milliseconds. Now this is going to show you how much it boosts you up. Top 31%, 22,000, 50 players. 3 milliseconds put you up 50 players, sorry. 1/10, using the same ratio, should put you, well, let's say 1/100th would be 150 players. So 1/10 would be 1,500 players. That's quite a lot, especially in a leaderboard that's only 73,000 players. Anyway, we could have got a lot. We could have had a better lap as well with a better session theoretical best if we had just improved on our sector 1 time. A little bit of pain, if you ask me. Heading over to Belgium. 145.1 person, top 21%, maintaining my fact that Hungary is the only one in the bottom 3/4, where I am in the bottom 3/4. Lap time, only one valid, only one needed, 44.6, 5 tenths improvement, put us into top 16%. And Belgium has 100,000 players on Xbox. I believe this is just Xbox. So the fact that we can get quite high is quite good, because a lot of people enjoy the circuit, so a lot of people are going to want to get good at it, and so a lot of people are going to time trial it. So the fact that we're this high is quite good. And then, of course, since we only had one valid lap, no proper session theoretical best. So we can move straight over to Netherlands. A 111.8 put us in the top 19%. Obviously, this was one of the circuits that we could not improve on in the middle of the season. And since we had a reduced time, we could not do it. I had a lot of issues. We only were able to complete one lap. And if you look very closely at the background, you can see that I'm facing a barrier. This is turn 3's barrier. I am also facing the wrong way. So obviously, this one lap was not able to do anything, and we stayed where we were. Yay. Heading over to Italy. Again, another one that we could not improve on last time. 120.7, but was in the top 16%. Had a couple of laps. 3 were valid, none of them quicker than 20.7. Even the 2 invalidated laps. So we stay where we are, and our session theoretical best though, 20.6. Sorry, don't know where 2 came from. Would have put us a 10th, over a 10th quicker than our previous best. That would have been nice. Heading over to Singapore. Okay, I made a mistake. This one is also in the bottom 3 quarters. 39.2 plus top 26%, and we weren't able to beat that. We stayed where we were, still top 26%, and session theoretical best was a 29.2 though. That could have put us in the top 25%. Just got to try a little harder next time. Actually do the exact same lap. As you can see, 3 tenths in sector 2 was basically the difference. Heading over to Japan. Top 18% with a 30.4. Had a couple of laps. No, we were not able to improve. The closest we got was 30.9. So we stay in position. Session theoretical best, only a 30.8. And none of the sectors were for my best laps. I guess that's alright. Means that there's a lot of improvement, and we are not a lost cause in being one of the being so. I don't want to say so low because I am quite high in the leaderboard. I don't do drugs. I'm not talking about that kind of high. Anyway, quickly moving on from that, we go to the USA. This used to be one of the worst ones in terms of leaderboard ranking. Top 19% with a 34.7. Able to improve to a 34.5 with a single lap, not able to improve on the other 2 laps. And it puts us in the top 16%. And due to only 2 laps and the second one being so poor, valid laps of course, we technically have no session theoretical best. And so, is that a little bit of a worry? Maybe not, seeing as, well, we didn't give ourselves enough time. And over to Mexico, a 116.9 puts in the top 15%. Only 2 laps. Don't know why that 3rd lap's there. I don't know. Oh, because it was invalidated, so I just didn't do it. And so, of course, again, all of this irrelevant. Stay exactly where we are. No session theoretical best. Yeah. Need to get better at keeping within track limits. Not just time trial, in the races as well. Brazil, a 18.6 put us in the top 19%. Quite like Brazil. Hopefully we can get an improvement. No, not at all. Closest we came was 3 tenths. So we stay where we are. How's our session theoretical best? I kind of just need to call it STB, but I feel like there's something else for that. I think that's using something else, but I might be wrong. Anyway, it was not good enough to beat our personal best anyway, so we need to find some areas that we can improve. And one of them that is consistent for all of them is give myself more time, which I will be doing. So you don't need to worry about that if you were worried. I don't know why you would be, but just in case you were. On to the last one that is on the calendar then, for last season, of course. Abu Dhabi. I almost said UAE. It's the same thing. Abu Dhabi's the city. UAE is the country. which is why I'm surprised it says Abu Dhabi, because it's not like we have another one in the UAE. Should be called the UAE race, but I guess United Arab Emirates is quite long, and so Abu Dhabi is better. 24.5 person, top 21%. Would be nice if we improved, but the closest we got was 24.6, and we didn't even get close to that on other attempts, so we stay where we are. Session theoretical best did put us at 24.3 though, so I guess that's nice. That would have improved us by just over a tenth and a half. So lastly, we've got 2 more circuits, Portugal and China. Obviously, since we haven't done these 2 circuits before in the time trial, we don't have a before image. That's why there's just my logo with a flag over the top of it. We were able to do a 29. Sorry, where does this 29 come from? This is why I don't record at 11:30. 19.2 was our best lap. Unfortunately, first top 34%. I do think that 8 is 8 correct. Would 8 be correct? 9 at least laps at this circuit. Definitely not enough, and so we need to do a lot more. Session theoretical best though could have put us at 19.1, so that's nice. However, our performance was a lot better at China. 33.5 was our best. Did it on the final lap. Consistent improvement of at least 0.3. In the case of between lap 1 and 2, it was 5. And it was able to put us in the top 19%. I do quite like China though, so I guess that helps it. But I guess, well, pretty obviously we should have been the same at Portugal, but I guess you can't always have it your way. Anyway, I believe that, review, session theoretical best, only slight improvement in sector 1. So yeah, that's all of them. Now we've got the 8 images to go. Calendar order of this half, pretty basic, doesn't really show much, but if we move on to the next one, you'll see that the best in terms of gap still remains as Austria, and the worst is still Singapore. Kind of to be expected. Austria the shortest, Singapore the longest in terms of lap time. Monaco being so low is a problem, and I guess we don't have a problem with any being too high. And the problem shows up now. Being China at the top, it actually really surprised me. And it's by quite a margin as well, 0.17%. And then you got Monaco being a pain in the rear, 5.66%, which is why it confuses me how it is so high in the leaderboard. Well, you can see it right now, but we'll move on to it in a minute. I don't want to set myself a goal, but I kind of do, because otherwise, what's the point? Let's see what the median. Well, I'll set the goal later. Yeah, so that's percentage. Then we move over to leaderboard ranking. At top is Austria with 13%. Monaco's so high up there in 14%, so a lot of people hate Monaco as well, and quite poor at it. You got 3 outliers: Singapore, Hungary, and Portugal being in the bottom 3 quarters, and quite generally being poor. Portugal 15th, 17th, and 19th in the rankings. Hungary 12th, 16th, 18th, and then Singapore 19, 18, 17. Abu Dhabi is quite a surprise as well. So I guess it all depends on the type of player as well. A lot of people can be really good at a circuit, so it is a lot harder to get higher up in the leaderboard, even though you are closer to the best time. So we go on to the final 4 images then. We have all 24 circuits here in calendar order, and we are going to move straight over to gap order. As you can see, Austria still holds the best place, with Brazil and Netherlands taking 2nd and 3rd. At the highest, that was from last time out, Australia down all the way in 9th. Singapore, Monaco, and Azerbaijan still hold the bottom 3 places, with the lowest from last time out being Bahrain down in 16th. So, between 1 and 4 seconds. I'd rather that. Let's set a target of an average of 2.6. Sorry, purely because that is what the median value is. Got my cursor over the middle value, and it is Imola's 2.64. Technically, it's between. It should be between in the middle of Mexico and Imola's. No, sorry. Between Imola's and France's, but I can't be able to work that out on the fly, so I'm just going to say it's 2.6. But of course, we all know gap is not that good, so let's use percentage. Top 3 is China, France, and Great Britain. Not really a surprise. Really like those circuits. France is not the best, but I quite like driving it. And then at the bottom we have Portugal, Singapore, and Monaco. Portugal, quite a surprise. Singapore and Monaco, not so much. Now, percentage, gap, target that we'd like at the end of the season. Let's say all of them have got. Let's set the target of all of them better than 3.38, as that is the median value between Australia and Australia. Oh, wow. I need to sleep. Bahrain and Australia. Yeah, nothing else much to say there. And then the last one, which won't have a target because it's quite irrelevant. Leaderboard ranking, Australia, Saudi Arabia, and Austria holding the top spots there, 11, 12, and 13%. And then obviously the bottom 3 being the exact same bottom 3. Singapore, Hungary, and Portugal. Really need to improve on Portugal, but that will come with time, and I'm not really worried about that one. The ones I am worried about is Hungary, because it's been consistently in the 30s region of percentage. So we do have one more thing, and it is called retirement. It is all retirements from this season. Quite a shock there. This is so I can find out if I'm probably in Championship 8-9 tomorrow, although it won't actually matter. Kinda, maybe, because of the AI I'll be using, but hey, it doesn't matter in the race because we're not doing the race tomorrow straight away. At least, we're not doing it straight away at least. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get straight into it. The first retirement we had was at Bahrain, Nicholas Latifi. As you can see, got KinMaster watermark because I did not think of taking screenshots until quite late in the season. I say quite late in the season. The first screenshot was from France. Next, we move over to Imola Sprint. Daniel Ricciardo. Pretty basic, if you ask me. Then we have the race. Daniel Ricciardo again at Imola. Now, I do promise you that I have got all of the Merc blowouts. If you think I missed one, go ahead. Sure, be my guest. But it won't change anything because it's too late now. The next one we had was at Monaco, Nicholas Latifi. Now, I was Bit unsure whether we include this one or not because it happened after I retired from the race. However, it's safe to assume that he didn't retire from a glitch, and he did in fact retire from a proper mechanical failure. So, next up, we had Great Britain, Lance Stroll, first retirement of the season, and he was shortly followed by his teammate in the same race. So, McLaren have had two, Williams have had two, and Aston Martin have had two. Next up is Mercedes, you'd think. No, apparently not. We go back to Sebastian Vettel at France, retiring again. And then Stroll at Hungary, and at the very same race, Daniel Ricciardo. I do realise I am talking about the image that has not come up on screen just quite yet, but hey ho. I'm lazy, I'm not going to get it exact, am I? Then we had quite a bit of a break. We had to go all the way to USA for the next one, and Stroll. Then we had two more, the final two in Mexico, Daniel Ricciardo and Sebastian Vettel. Now, there have been two occasions which I'm not quite sure about. This one, because he hit the wall and sheared off his front left, and so it might not count as a mechanical retirement. However, he was blown over the side, hence why he hit the wall. So that is a proper retirement. Another one was the end of Singapore, purely because he got a glitch saying that he finished at the back of the grid, back of the pack. Basically, what I've tried to describe, I had at Russia in the F121 game, which is another reason why this all started. And then, obviously, I think Ocon also had it this season at some point. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to show you a clip of me actually deciding to use Excel to randomize it all. Now, I'm not going to voice over, but there are some text speeches which will help explain things. And if you do have any more questions, just pop them in the comments. So that's going to be it, and I'll see you all for next season on F123. Bye. Also, I need to stop recording on my phone. I forgot about that.